I have a feeling they're gonna hurt me today. The little baby Castorice. Yeah, Castorice is making me feel like I'm gonna be hurt here.
I don't want to die. Please,
Oh, great.
let me go. I don't want to die. Please.
Hi.
Mercy like this. Just let me go. I don't.
Instant. Let's go. Well, that was easy.
I hate these icy hands.
Listen, my day's immune. Give him a hug. If at least he can without being too screwed over. Ooh. This sets a mood, alright. Wearing white, huh? Interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, the distance between her and these blokes. They did mention she was over 1,000. Yeah, do not. It's sad, but do not. You will... It won't be Cass's fault. We don't want her feeling that kind of guilt, man. Aww.
Get it over with. End its suffering.
Yeah. In some cases, death would be a mercy. A lot of people seek it out when they feel they have no hope.
Only you can grant them peace.
Yeah. Still traumatizing for a child, though. Yeah. Yeah, no. Oh, poor girl.
Embrace death. Walk alongside it.
Oh, yeah. Not surprising that this is the... Oh, God. Do not accidentally get this. Be careful. Oh, okay. That's cute as all hell. Fine. This kid is gonna be in trouble at some point, surely. Oh, a little bit of hope. Bless her. That melody. Oh, there she is again. Hi. Yeah, that's a lot of years later. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's for relief in some cases. Ugh.
Is that you, Castorice?
Yeah. That's the lady, isn't it? The girl who... Yeah. Oh, bless.
Have gone, heeding death's summon, crossing into their domain.
Oof.
I must go too.
Oh.
I don't fear it. Just, I have some regrets. Watching people leave this world again and again, it must be lonely for you. You must want to desperately embrace them before they go. I can't. These hands, they're too cold. But Big Sister Castorice, your hands are so warm. Just like anyone else's. So go on. Don't hold back.
Oh.
Give me a warm hug.
Yeah, that's rough as hell. God. Oh.
Can hands like these really be warm?
Is the hint that she was reborn? Huh. God, that got me. Alright. Alright. Yeah, I had a feeling that this one would. The moment they showed a little kid, I kind of assumed there'd be a lot of trauma and association with her ability. Especially if it awakened as a child, which clearly it did. So she's just always had it. My question is, if she's had it since she was little, does that mean she had it immediately upon birth? Because that could hint at some very tragic associations, like potentially for her mother who would have birthed her. Yeah, there's a lot of concerning things that are just, like, unfortunate involving this. And it's... Humans need social interaction, or more, they need social rearing. We are not creatures that really live in isolation. So it's partially why it's so incredibly damaging when children are neglected. And here we have a child who wasn't necessarily neglected, but was completely segregated from the others due to a curse, essentially. The thing I'm wondering is, of course she's going to be linked to Thanatos and the authority itself. It wouldn't surprise me if somehow she was Thanatos. Just if so, how did it come to this? Since there must have been a reason it happened. Like, the dragon is connected to her, and that also has Death's authority. So, if those two somehow are inherently Thanatos or Death as an authority, how was she born? How did she come to be like this? And it's... that little girl who ended up aging throughout the video had a lot of power in this. and was probably her first time where she actually questioned herself and her position. She would have been brought up granting death to things and probably seeing it as only a negative thing. But you would. A little kid seeing animals dying, normally you associate a kid that hurts animals as having negative tendencies, usually. It's a sign of normally something not being quite alright, whether it be in their experience or mentally. Same goes for even when adults do it, because, you know, the reality is life is a valued thing, and if you possess empathy, you wouldn't want to inflict pain or suffering on anything else. Not to that extent, especially not. So, seeing her interacting and watching these animals die and fearing killing other people, it shows that very human aspect of her as a character. There is a time where death is something... God. Like in the UK it's illegal, but... You taught about it quite young, even in schools and things, about euthanasia and how far people are willing to go in order to obtain it, because if you're terminally sick, or when you're terminally sick and life is painful, then you probably want some relief. And through interacting with other people, through that old lady, she actually got to see that there is a gentleness to it. It's like, it's funny, even in mythology, they never really portrayed death as malicious. A lot of the times in stories, especially Greek mythology, death is normally a gentle entity. Thanatos was the personification of death, but more specifically, the personification of a non-violent death. Dying of old age is considered probably one of the nicer ways to go, because you live a full life. And I'm pretty sure most people would hope to pass in their sleeper when they can't feel it. Firstly, the Greek god being specific, you know, the Titan being named after the Greek personification of death that is non-violent as well. It doesn't really suggest that they're malevolent at all. They're just indiscriminate, because death comes from for everyone eventually. And the way that she seems to kill is very gentle in a sense too. The touch doesn't hurt the animal. Probably living did. You could see it was struggling. It just fell back quietly. Traumatizing for a child. Very traumatizing for a child, though. Her upbringing clearly was hard. And the closest to a friend she got, she ended up putting to rest herself, but not before getting one comfort from them. Can't help but feel pity. It shows an interesting difference in how the Chrysosaurs work in comparison to normal people. She just does not age. Every single Chrysosaur we've encountered have all been seemingly young. So is it a trait of being a Chrysosaur, or is it her connection to Thanatos specifically that has enabled this? Like, I'm pretty sure Fanon is older though as well. Fanon's quite old. Maide is quite old. Cass is quite old, but we have an actual confirmed age for her. Treeby, being one of the oldest of them, has remained young, but hers seems very specifically tied to her splitting herself. Though, do I think that Treebios would have aged? Probably not. So I'm just going to assume that it's something that all Chrysosaurs have until it's specified that they can wither and die from age. But no, this hit like a ton of bricks. And it's one of those moments where it just makes it clear that, you know, stuff like this is an art. And has very potent messages that can be a part of it, and it's why I treasure Mihoyo's stories. I just do still have concerns in relation to this girl's kit and what it's, spells out for the future of the game. That's my only concern. We can see if... It's like, I'll be bringing Castorice home. There's no way I can't. Especially after that. It got me. That got me. I've got a guarantee already saved and excess in prep for Finn and releases. And I've got another 2 versions at least to save, considering during Castorice's version I won't have to spend any of my savings and we'll be getting anniversary rewards. And then the following version, I've recorded the reactions to the drip marketing for those. I just need to edit them. I recorded them while I was busy on that week. So yeah, no. I at least have 2 more versions to potentially save through. Unless they somehow make Cypher tied to Acheron's kit and not... This is the thing. Having Nihility worries me because they're buffing Kafka, which means that Nihility is back to maybe being an option because Kafka is the best DPS for Nihility. I'm anticipating seeing if, Kafka can be made strong again in comparison to, other characters, but I'm also interested in the potential of... It's like, because it's Nihility, is it possible that Cypher could end up supporting Acheron like how Jiaoche does? But in that case, I don't have to worry if she's not as good as Jiaoche. And that's what I'm banking on. I'm banking on Jiaoche remaining the best support for Acheron and her not being so essential for Nihility that I have to get her. Especially when I've already got Black Swan and I've got Silver Wolf, who is also getting a buff. We will see. But for now, I'm hoping Cypher is a skip, and I have no reason to pull on Hyacinth. As much as I'm looking forward to sharing my initial reaction to Hyacinth, because I did get a good laugh out of hers. Not in a nasty way, I just found it kind of funny and cute. But, yeah, no, I hopefully have another 2 versions to save for Finn, and we'll see how long it takes for Finn and to show himself. And then eventually Serene, because I imagine Serene and March would come after him, because Finn, and we've known from the start of this story. Those are the characters I'm interested in getting, and we'll see what order they get released and how much time I have to save between each of them, because they're the must-pulls for me for this. Castorice is an optional that I am going to get, probably only because she's a sweetheart, and I think that I need an AoE DPS at this point, because the way that the game content is skewing towards it is actively hurting my account at this point. I don't have any erudition-like main DPSs, so my best option is Acheron, and Acheron's rate of dealing AoE damage is harmful when it comes to Memory of Chaos and the higher end game modes now. On their later difficulties, it's making me lose resources that I could use towards pulls. So my mindset is, if I get a DPS that's suitable for those game modes at the very least, or who can also work alongside her, so I can I have more competent teams for the content, because Breaker's obviously fallen off, so my Firefly's just not seeing much use. And I don't really have many other AoE characters that are up to that power level. So my mindset is, if I get Castorice as well, it'll sort my account for the time being, and then I shouldn't have to get anything else until, eventually I get the characters I want, like Finn and March 7th's 5-star that'll hopefully happen, and Serene that will hopefully happen. Those are the characters I want. Castorice is a character I like, who will maybe prepare me for eventually getting them, because I'll be able to get more resources from the end game modes, because I'll be better equipped to deal with them. Her passive is gonna actually be stupidly valuable, especially against high difficulty Nikador, but hopefully they don't push that too hard. I'm really still scared about them just giving a bunch of characters passives and making them borderline must pulls, especially if they're more egregious than Castorice's. Because Castorice's is just basically a safety net for if you die. Any time you do, which is still powerful as all hell, but it's also the concept of, you know, it's not building your damage up. So it's not making it so you can kill the bosses faster. It's just preventing you from dying. Which is a little more balanced than if they added crit rate or crit damage or some sort of damage-oriented one. Like, Acheron's busted enough. Imagine giving her a passive on top of that. Because this is the potential for eventual DPSs. If they wanted to power creep, they could just... Also, keep in mind, now we're getting characters that are getting updated as well. What if they get passives? That'll change the entire direction of the game. It could force people pulling on reruns if they did do that, but it'd be very rough. Plus, they're less likely to do it because they get more benefit off of doing it on the older banners and not the ones that have already got people who have already pulled on them. So yeah, this broke my little heart a bit. Doesn't help that, you know, I'm nearing the time when Storm started falling sick. Until, like, this is the thing, until the anniversary of his death, I'm probably going to be very, very vulnerable. I'm still in deep amounts of grief. It hasn't, in some ways it's easier and in some ways it's not. And any time death is touched as a subject, like with Genshin, it just absolutely stabs at me relentlessly. Like, this is tragic already on its own, but on top of that, the emotions I'm feeling are just, like, devastating. So yeah, no, Castorice will come home. I am looking forward to seeing what comes of the story involving her, especially considering, you know, the Trailblazer seemingly dies, so she's probably going to have to sacrifice something to bring us back. Since her ability takes lives, not gives them usually. There's gotta be some exceptions, but... yeah, I don't think it bodes entirely well for her, unfortunately. She's going to end up a demigod of death, which I'd be highly surprised if they don't go that angle, but come on, they're gonna. She's connected to the dragon that carries the authority. She has the ability to kill things just by touching them. And she's been actively seeking Thanatos, who seems to have disappeared. Probably tied to her being the reason that it vanished. So yeah, we can see in the future what lies for her. We have got less than a week. No, around a week. I think it's either 8 or 7 days until the update. Before then, I will get the story out for 3.1. Which I should have gone out already, but as said last week, I was just super busy. So until then, take care, guys.